And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. Glad you all could be with us. Make sure you guys hit that follow button so you don't miss any of our content 6 days a week here on Amazon. You'll see it either here in this corner or down below. You also will see some of the books by our next guest. I'm so excited to welcome back my friend and media personality and host herself, Tessa-Marie Shillingford. She's joining us today to talk about her brand new book. You guys can see it here, The Five Pillars of Prosperity: Spiritual, Mental, Physical, Emotional, and Financial. For those joining us on the Amazon side, we have it highlighted for you guys in the carousel. You'll see it there. For those who are joining us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram, we welcome you all to our program. If you guys have any questions for Tessa-Marie, make sure you guys do put those in the comment section. She also has something very special that's going on surrounding the book as well. Want to talk to you about. But Tessa-Marie, my friend, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you, Fahan. It's such a pleasure to be with you. It is.
Look, it has been way too long, and I'm so glad that you could join us. You've been quite busy, I have to say. So let's talk about that, Tessa-Marie, because you and I know each other because of your show that you do on IG, but also, of course, you've written these books. These are only three of the books I have here with me. You have others you've written. What has it been like for you to be able to use your platform to inspire people, but also to educate them?
You know, it's something that just, when I do this, every nerve and sinew in my body is awake. And and I feel so energized to energize somebody else. And you can feel it, their comments. You can actually see them coming in and they say, oh, I didn't want to miss this. I got something from it. So it makes you feel like you have a purpose. And I figure my purpose is, I call it a light. I know that is big time. I am the light of the world is the thing, right? So I said, no, it's a light. It's a tiny part of the light of the world. And the more I give that light, the bigger the light gets, and everybody's learning. And it just stimulates me to do more.
And it's a great experience as well. Ashley, hello to you over on IG. Good to be able to see you. Hello to you, Ellen. Good to be able to see you over there on IG. She says hello to you as well. Also, Wendy, hello to you over on Amazon. Glad you could join us. And you've been able to bring in people literally from all over the place. You're joining us from Canada right now, unless you're jet setting somewhere right now, Tessa-Marie.
I haven't done too much lately.
Okay. Well, you're joining us from Canada, but you have viewers that join you from all over the place. What has that been like for you to see the coalition you formed of people from all over the world that come to hear you speak and learn from you?
Well, to say what it's like, I'm in awe because, as you know, you figure you're this little person that grew up in Dominica. When it's true, you do a lot of other things, travel the world, went to special schools, but it still wasn't that. It's to see that I have something I can share and I have a voice and I can do it. And it was scary. It's still scary for me when I do this. But when you see people coming in from Australia, from Japan, Malaysia, Europe, all over the Caribbean and different parts of the United States, and they become like a family. They come in on the morning and everybody, hello, how are you today? What are you doing? Happy birthday. And it's just, and I am that little one single person that brought them together. It just really frightens me. I am saying, wow, that's all I can say. And then I remember what Mahatma Gandhi said, each one, you become the change you want. And I wanted people to feel good about themselves, um, to love themselves, to realize it's okay, you're good. Because you taught me something. You said the person must do the the best, their best, not
Yeah,
somebody else's best. And that
yeah,
stayed with me. A long time ago, you said that.
yeah. And I firmly believe it, Tessa-Marie. That is what I live my life by. I can't be anyone else but me. And quite honestly, I don't want to be anybody else.
No, no.
My life is chaotic enough. I don't need to be anybody else's.
Somebody's lying to it.
Hey, look, because hey, Tessa-Marie, we both know the grass is not always greener on the other side.
No, it's not. When you get there, you have to go look for grubs. Take them out.
Right, right. Ebony, hello to you. Good to be able to see you over there on IG. So I want to talk about courage because when you were just talking just now, Tessa-Marie reminds me of the importance of doing it even afraid. I do this. A lot of our audience probably can relate to this. What gave you the courage just to show up? Because you not only show up, You show up consistently daily throughout the day. What is it that gives you that courage?
When you have a goal or when you have a desire, I don't call them wants because a want is something that never gets fulfilled. So it's a desire. You feel it in your, I say you feel it in your second chakra right there. And that thing burns and it has to let go and it must grow. And you are looking at the scary thing. People will laugh at you. Others will criticize you. I get tons of that. I get you are old. We should be, aren't you retired? Sit, you should be praying your rosary or something like that. And you're jumping up and down on Facebook and all over the place on YouTube. But they don't know that every time you come and you press that button, there is something more inside of you that's saying you have to do it. It's scary. It might not work. And then when you get that detour or that bump in the road, you cannot just sit there and cry. You have to keep going. And it's just to see how far. It's like I am here. I have to get into the moment and I want to do it. And it's burning, it hurts, and I'm scared. But I stand there and I just do it. Do it.
I should let our audience know Tessa-Marie was picking on me earlier. I'm one of these people who, if I read something, it stays with me. And because you said, she and I didn't pick this up on, but this is why I love being me. She didn't tell me she was going to mention that, but it reminds me of something Tessa-Marie wrote in her book, The Morning Blessings. And I'm going to highlight it for you guys over on Amazon. This is just one of the books Tessa-Marie has. This is Tessa-Marie to tie perfectly in. See, this is what I get for reading. This is what you wrote.
For killing the book.
Today's blessing is to remember what Theodore Roosevelt said. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could do better. The credit belongs to the man in the arena. And then you added, what he was saying all those years ago stands today as solid as it ever was. You can't spend time thinking of the critics or the naysayers. You must continue on your quest and believe in you in spite of the critics. See how we did that together, Tessa-Marie? You shared your experience. I shared this because my book has been used and read.
You bit it up.
So let's talk about that, Tessa-Marie, because showing up. Hey, Melissa, good to be able to see you. Melissa says hello to you also, Tessa-Marie.
Hi, Melissa. Sweetie.
What is that like for you to show up and to see the results of showing up? Because I think for a lot of people, they're there, but they're not really there. You show up. You genuinely show up. And it shows that you're not just pressing a button and going live, Tessa-Marie. You are actually showing up with value and with purpose. What has it been like for you to see the value of doing that?
Well, the thing is that if we want to be honest, we do it for ourselves. As much as we say we're doing it to help others, really, we want to do it. We're doing it for ourselves. And we have a lot to go through to get there, but it's because we want to. And somebody might say it's your ego. It's not your ego. That's, you found your purpose.
Yeah.
And when you find your purpose, you can push through. And the consistency is in nature. Nature teaches us consistency. I refer to the water hyacinth a lot. I grew up and my parents had this huge pond in the backyard. And my dad imported tilapia from Africa. And he put this tiny water lily, which is really a water hyacinth, one little thing. And before you know it, it kept spreading and it covered the entire pond. And the fish was feeding from the roots. And then we realized that he always taught lessons. He said, you see, it didn't stop growing. It wanted to know more. It wanted to cover the pond, and it covered the pond. And then he said, look at it. It's trying to climb on the side of the pond. So he taught me that. And I knew for sure you have to be consistent. No matter what you're building. And then if you look at the people that are already successful, you don't see them stop doing IG or YouTube or all of that. They're still doing it. And it's not because they're greedy. It's because there's another mountain to climb. There's something to refine. There's something that is necessary to tell this person, hey, it's okay. Hold on. I know your hands are cut, but hold on. The dawn is coming. So that is consistency is not easy. You put courage to fall and have others laugh at you, and you get up again. and you do it tomorrow morning, and you it might be better than yesterday or maybe worse, but you get up again the next day and you do it. And one day, just one day, the sun shines through. And
Yeah.
nature, the sun never lets the cloud spend the whole day in front of it. It keeps waiting for the cloud to take a nap, and it goes, bye, here I am.
Mhm.
So that's what I do. That's what I believe. Observe others, I listen to nature, and I watch what happens in nature.
Love that. And you share a bit of your love of nature in the morning blessings. So, for those who have not got it, there's some great photos in here as well as the blessings. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You all are watching, listening to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live, but we are simulcasting it. So, we welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. Addie T, hello to you. Glad you can be able to join us over there on Facebook. Tessa-Marie Shillingford is our guest today. She's a media personality and host herself. She's also an author and a strategist that helps people not only course personally, but also professionally as well. We're going to talk about something special she's doing and let you guys know how to connect with her. The next book I want to talk about, Tessa-Marie, is the book I have here. I see someone's already clicked on it over there on Amazon. Keep in mind, if you guys are joining us on Amazon, if you're not following us, hit that follow button. You see it here in this corner or down below so you can stay connected with all of our programming. Goal setting journals, the next book we're going to talk about, Tessa-Marie, before we get into the newest book. And one of your messages that you had that I wanted to bring out for this one is this: ask yourself, will this action take me closer or further away from my desire? I wanted to mention that because there are so many people who are looking at where we are in the year. It is already now 8 months in, with 4 months left to go, if my math is correct. You know, uh, you have to double check me on that, but I think that's about right.
You're right.
You know, people may wonder why aren't things happening for me? What would you say to them, Tessa-Marie, about the importance of that question and kind of using that to evaluate why they may not be where they want to be?
Um, because they're stuck somewhere else.
Hmm.
And the thing about it, if you are in the gap, the present moment is the gap. We started at one, so that's already the past. There isn't a thing we can do about 1 o'clock this afternoon. But right now it is 1:15, and we are in the gap. And if we're aware that we're in the gap and we stay aware in the gap, we're going to realize, no, is this going to take me closer or further to my dream goals or desires? You question yourself. And even when you sleep and you do, you say, I kind of knew. Because our body, our mind, our entire spirit talks to us when we start setting goals. Even the goal itself begin to say, no, 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 that's not what you want. Because your goals speak to you. But the only way to hear it is to move yourself from the past experiences. Do not drag them into the present moment. And be aware while you're there. Do not jump into the future. That's a mystery. Nobody knows what will happen at 3 o'clock this afternoon, but we
Right.
know what is happening now. And that's when you ask yourself that you're going to do something, you're going to fall in love, you're looking at this person, taking that step with him or her. Is that going to take me closer to where I want to go? And when you get the answer, run away like wild dogs after you because you got the answer, the right answer.
I love that. And for those who have not gotten her journal, definitely is great to be able to set and identify your goals, but also kind of chronicle your journey. Let's go ahead and move into your newest book, Tessa-Marie. And for anyone who's watched your show on IG, this book will definitely not come as a surprise to them. Some may be asking, as I was, where is this book at? But now it's finally here for people to be able to get. The Five Pillars of Prosperity. Talk to us about what led you to write the newest book.
You, I can say, I can say what it's you.
Mm.
But what you do you ever believe that information can be downloaded from somewhere to you?
Yes.
Okay, so in 1997 we had. I was sick. My husband had cancer. They stole the van. The furnace broke down. It just was all in 1 month.
Mm.
And then I went to church. I went to St. Michael's Cathedral, and I'm walking there ready to have a conversation with God. And I just heard, shut up and sit down. We want to talk to you.
Mm.
So I did just that, but I had a pad in a book in notebook in my purse. So I started writing what I heard.
Mm,
All you have to do is open your mouth and we will tell you what to say. When somebody asks you, how are you doing today? Do not tell them the whole story. They can't help you. Tell them you're absolutely wonderful. And I started using that. And walk like you're a daughter of a king because you are. Shoulders back, straight back, and smile. What you're feeling inside doesn't have to be always on your face.
mm.
And that was the beginning of today. And then I wrote the first book, Controlling the Death Monster, in 202. And I didn't publish it until 2009. But while I was coaching people, because I could feel and I could see we were going to have 208, 208 or 209. I worked for the bank and they were just saying, give them credit. And it wasn't working with me. Finally, they, they promoted me to manager, so I would have to do it, which I still found. So it was like a chess game with them. And then I met this young man, um, and he came to me for financial advice. And I'm looking at him, I'm listening to him for weeks and weeks. I'm saying, no, it's not finance, it's your emotion that is whack. And then the day I said that, it was like a machine was speaking in my head, and it was like a movie. I could see it, I could feel it, even the color of the book. And then this, you have 5 pillars, like the fingers of one hand, like a team. If one is broken, the others will suffer. And in his case, it was the cause of his problem, his financial problem, was his emotional reaction to money.
Mhm.
And then once we started working on his emotions, his money problem started to work in place. And
Wow.
our emotions, that's how it started, is based on our 5 senses, that one, but they're the other 4. So that's how it all started.
Yeah. Eddie T says this, has a question for you on Facebook, Tessa-Marie, before I go into chapter 4 of the new book. He wanted to ask if he can learn from the past in order not to repeat the same thing.
Yeah, but if you can, you know what happened there already. So you got to learn it at the time when it happened. You know that. Why you want to keep learning the same thing over and over?
Mhm.
When that thing happened, you were wrong. 1 second later, in the moment, holy shit, I shouldn't have done that. Or this, oh, what did I do? So you got the learning. You cannot keep pulling it into this thing. The next thing you know, whatever it is you did there, that will never leave you. But
Yeah.
where we get stuck is when we bring it into the present moment and say, oh, I was this, I was that. And every day, how can you be in the moment, in the present? The gift, it's a present. That's why it's called the present.
Yeah.
When you're constantly thinking of the pain of the past. No, you learn and you move forward and you stay in there and you say, I know this, I got this already. Let me do better here.
Right. Hello to you, Stacy. Stacy's joining us over there on IG. She says hello to you as well, Tessa-Marie. So, and to that point, I want to get into the 5 pillars of prosperity, and I want to focus on one that's a little different than what most people may think about, Tessa-Marie, when it comes to prosperity, and that is spiritual.
Ooh.
Chapter 4 is the pillar of spiritual prosperity. You give the example in there of one of the individuals that you were able to be able to work with, Barbara, and something struck me when I was reading the book, and I thought our audience needs this. So I want to ask you. This is what you said in the book for those who have their paperback edition, like I got here on Amazon, on page 49. Tessa-Marie writes, here are the things that Barbara had to answer. And I want to talk about the first 2 of these, Tessa-Marie. Number 1, do you believe you are good enough? That to me is the most powerful thing, because what I had to learn, Tessa-Marie, for myself, speaking personally, I'd never felt good enough. I felt sometimes that it was wrong for me to be able to do what I did because I didn't feel like I should have it. Not that anyone ever told me that. I believe that for myself. Why did you want to list that as number 1 of the lessons for Barbara? And what do you want our audience to think about when it comes to thinking about their own prosperity, that they are worthy enough and good enough for it?
Well, look at it. Okay. Your spiritual prosperity is not a religion, it's not a dogma, it's nothing to do with organized religion.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with you. You can believe anything you want. But You were created, you're here because you have a purpose and you're good enough to fulfill that purpose. But life teaches, that is where it starts in junior kindergarten. The teacher decides if you're good enough. The brown eye, blue eye situation, the light skin, dark skin situation, the curly hair, the loose hair, the straight hair situation. You're not good enough if you're kinky head and all of that. But when you, thank you, Andy, when you get into that thing that you people are telling you, you have to do this, you're not good enough, you have to learn better. It starts, you hear it, or you could be that silent 4-year old in junior kindergarten, and it's not you. The teacher is telling that to this kid over there, but you are in the room, you're absorbing it. The brain is taking it in. So when you are going to attempt to do something, am I good enough? I don't think I'm good enough. And then people tell you, I'm going to pray for you to change. And when they want you to change, I have women saying, I'm going to pray to God to change my husband. And I got so frustrated with my cousin-in-law. I said, how dare you? And I said, how dare you say that to me? What you're saying to the God, you have this Bible under your arm, like you cannot leave, put it down, and you're believing and you believe and you believe. When he made you, that was his best work. But when he made your husband, he failed. And you're saying, fix it? You're telling him to fix it.
Yeah.
How does he feel? And you're being obnoxious. So we have to learn to let people be the best that they can be. And if we say that to them, do your best, work on yourself. We don't have to tell that to anybody. We have to be the change we want to see. Begin with yourself. Love yourself. You want people to treat you with love? Well, when you're going to apply the cream on your body, take your time. When you're choosing something to wear, choose well. When you're eating your food, chew it well. Be worthy to sit at the table, apply your glass of wine. You have crystals in your cabinet. Who is it for? You're not good enough to drink from those crystals that you bought for yourself. You're waiting for the emperor to come to dinner. He's not coming. So, good enough is all the amazing. People buy perfumes. Okay, you can't wear it at work. You can perfume before you go to bed. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Perfume when you come out of the shower. What I am saying is that to be good enough, all the possessions you prayed for, you worked for, you did, enjoy them.
Yeah.
And that show yourself you're good enough, and then others will see you and they will treat you and they'll respect you for taking care of you.
Hmm. This leads me to the second one I wanted to mention about Barbara. And Stacy says, great book that she's in the chapter also. And I think, there are so many great lessons in here, but I want to say the second one under Barbara in chapter 4 is a really good one. It's actually number 3 in the book, Tessa-Marie. Do you do your best in all you do? And I want to talk about that question as we're having this conversation, and I want to tie it to what you're doing along with this book. So, talk to us about that question and how you're helping people to answer that question.
Okay. Do you do the best in all you do? Or are you going to tell me, Tessa-Marie, I'm just going to throw something on the pot. I'm going to do this. Everything is like this. I'm just going to throw some things together. No, that is not the best.
Yeah.
If you're going to dress, say you're going to get dressed. Throwing things at people or things or yourself is not a nice way to be. But we forget something. If you're hired to be employed to do something and that person is paying you, remember they're paying you for your time.
Yeah.
It's not for what you do, it's for the time. I don't care who you are.
Right.
You go there for 8 hours is the time. So you're there for that time. And that time, it doesn't matter what you do your best.
Right.
Because when somebody says that wasn't good enough, you can turn back and say, you know what, I did my best.
Yeah.
And feel good about it. Doing your best sometimes means you have to hold back and you have to think. And again, to answer Addy's question, you have to be in the moment to realize that you're doing your best. And when I always reference The Gambler by Kenny Rogers, you have to know when to go forward. You have to know what to do, but you cannot do that if you're racing against time. Sit in the moment and whatever you do, do your best. plan to do your best,
Yeah.
think to do your best, and then do your best.
Yeah. And that brings us a perfect segue then into what you're doing using social media in training and coaching and helping others. Tessa-Marie, talk to us about what you're doing in connection with the new book.
Okay, so I am doing this seminar on starting on the 28th of September on a Saturday at 1 p.m. The reason, and I'm doing it on Tuesday before, which is the 25th or the 24th. I'm like Cyrus, the brain takes a nap.
Yeah.
And at 7 p.m. at night. The reason why I'm doing two, even if one person registers, I will still do it. Stacy can attest to that. I want you to fully understand how the five pillars affect your life. Because if you embrace the five pillars as your guide, you will live a fulfilled life. Now, a fulfilled life for you mightn't be a fulfilled life for me. Your idea of a fulfilled life, well, by living free in the forest and have money to buy the whatever you need that you cannot get in the forest, and that's okay too. And the person who wants to spend their fulfilled life traveling will understand that, or living in luxury. But the point is, you have to have a vision. And I am going to teach you how to get your emotions back on track, how to get your physical prosperity back on track, how to get the spiritual one. I'm good enough. And you're good enough. We're all good enough. We just have to do our best. And then the financial thing. Where is it going? Your mental, what are you learning, what are you doing? So it's force you to realize what you can change, and it's up to you what you would like to work on. So you have a workbook, and you're in the class for an hour. You'll have a breakout session, and you do that for 7 Saturdays or 7 Tuesdays. The point is, you have a few minutes before. We're in the beginning. The first week is all about telling you what you're going to experience, and the last week is to really catch up. So every Saturday, or Tuesday, you have 1 hour on each pillars, and there are five pillars. And you can DM me, send me an email. I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. And join me. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Errol, hello to you. Good to see you over there on IG. Stacy says, yes, the five pillars of prosperity are so important to the world. And I totally agree that the book is amazing. Looking forward to seeing what you're able to build around this, Tessa-Marie. And so glad we had a chance to. Can you believe it's been 30 minutes already? The time just flies by. the time just flies by. But Tessa-Marie and I, we're both so passionate about what we do. And you can hear the passion in Tessa-Marie's voice. And Tessa-Marie, I just want to say congratulations to you again. I love the work that you're doing. I'm not always able to catch it live just because of scheduling, but when I am able to pop in, I'm always loving to be able to do that. And looking forward to our next chat together.
Yes, I forgot something, Cyrus.
Oh, go ahead. Sure, sure.
You can always join the Facebook group, the Five Pillars of Prosperity group. It's on Facebook, and in there we'll have things that you can learn from. You can ask questions. So join it. It's on Facebook, and have fun with it.
Okay.
And yes,
And
I'm looking forward to being with you again.
yeah,
Uh,
and I'll make sure to tag it on Facebook, Tessa-Marie. I'll tag it for them so that they can be able to easily find it for
and it's Cyrus's fault while that book is in print.
them. I will take the blame.
One day, Cyrus is on a live, and Cyrus comes and he just gives a kiss, and he gives you a kiss, and he moves on. But he was there. He said, "When are you going to do the ebook?" And this ended up being both. So there is an ebook, and there is so all you have to do is throw me a challenge, and there you are. Thank you, Cyrus. And I mentioned you in the book.
Yeah, I saw that. I
I
saw
gave you
that.
props, and somebody said, "Who is this Cyrus?" And it's gratitude. I said, "Cyrus." My son said, "Who is Cyrus?" I said, "I have never met him. I'm going to move to his city so I can see him one day."
Yeah, I'm his brother. You didn't tell him?
No, I should have told him. His brother. Who is this Cyrus? Then he asked me, "Who is Stacy?" And I'm saying, he said, "All of these people, they really love talking to you, Mom. But Mom, you talk too much."
Yeah. Stacy says, I love that we're all in this together. That is so true. And I thank you so much for the compliment, Stacy. Really appreciate that. We all do rock. It's such a great thing. Tessa-Marie, so glad our audience can be with you. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in. It's another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live, but also, of course, joining us on the simulcast. Now, the great thing is, no matter what platform you're joining us on, the replay will be available. So if you didn't catch all of the conversation with Tessa-Marie Shillingford. Don't worry, the replay will be available here on Amazon. You guys can be able to watch it there. But please make sure you guys hit that follow button on Amazon, either here in this corner or down below. We do have programming here on Amazon 6 days a week, so that way you'll make sure you don't miss out on anything. But for those who are tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Instagram, we're glad you all can join us as well. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.